Talking about cutting the crap and closing the gap. I'm a partner with Sovereign Bank, 23rd Street Association, and the Greenwich Chamber of Commerce. And we're all working together to provide all of the different entrepreneurs and business owners in the greater Chelsea market with the Executive Education Series. Again, I'm Jim Coleman, and I grew up on a little small pig farm in Lexington, Kentucky. Graduated from Howard University in 1983, and I've worked for 4 Fortune 500 corporations. I've worked for Oscar Mayer & Company, Pepsi-Cola Company, Altria, as well as American Express. When you think in terms of chasing the herd, what comes to mind?
Left in the dust.
You're getting left in the dust. You've got mud in your face, I'm sorry.
You're behind everybody else.
You're behind everybody else. I'm from Kentucky, so I've seen thousands of racist horses taken off. They're off! If you're leading the pack, what's going on?
Oh, you're ahead of the game.
You're ahead of the game?
No.
Give me a few metrics.
In a more profitable space.
You're more profitable than your competitors or companies that are just like your company. What if you had access to this information on the average company's performance? You would have to make sure that you're doing at least the minimum. At least the minimum. The second key question, what if you could determine if you were chasing the herd or leading the pack? What would that do for you?
Allow you to make adjustments.
Allow you to make adjustments. The next would be, what if you could cut the crap and close the gap on all of your financial performance gaps? You'd make more money. What else? If you could make more money, what would that do for you?
Be a recognizable industry leader.
You'd be a big leader in your industry. The last key area would be, what if you could build a continuous improvement infrastructure?
Continuous growth.
Continuous growth.
Again,
It's kind of like driving a Corvette Stingray 100 miles an hour with a dashboard. Right now, without this information, you're driving and you don't know if you're half empty. You don't know if you're breaking the speed limit. The first question, getting access to industry financial performance. Each of us right now are identified by what they call an SIC number. And that is just a number that identifies your particular industry. So if you're a jeweler, retailer, I can go into this database, find that number, and then all of a sudden crank out a report that shows me the industry averages for your particular standard industrial code. And then from there, I can submit the request through this database and then run it, and then we can sit down and review that report. I want to show you tonight what that report kind of looks like. It's a database called SageWorks. When you look at this page, you can see that there are a host of different industry metrics that we're looking at. These industry financial metrics include everything from current ratio, quick ratio, gross profit margin, net profit margin, inventory days. We're looking at this, and what happens is that there are thousands and thousands of companies that put their information into this database because they're members of this system. And they want to be able to bank themselves or stack themselves up against the industry averages. Now, there are some key metrics up here. Which ones do you think would be the ones that you would pay attention to the most?
Gross profit margin.
Gross profit margin, okay. Anything else?
And the net, the gross and the net.
Gross on the net. So then all of a sudden we get a chance to take a look at this report, and you can see that, like on the first column, all of the companies within this particular industry, the industry being automotive repair and maintenance, it shows for companies within this industry that are under 1 million, it's 3.58. Look at the inventory days, 28 days, accounts receivable days, 8.5, payable days, 27. So for instance, on this particular report, we're looking at the accounts payable days, it's 27. If I am at 14, what does that tell you? Too fast. I'm paying too fast. But you really have to watch AP days, AR days, sales per employee, profit per employee, gross margin. Just watch those basic ones and it'll take care of the liquidity numbers. Like my father, when I was growing up on the pig farm, he said, boy, all you need to worry about is we got more coming in than going out. I went with him one time, we sold hogs at the stock market, and we got a check for $3,200. He said, look at this check, boy. I said, Daddy, is that profit? What you talking about, smarty? It's a check, isn't it? I said, but is it profit? He kind of scratched his head. He thought, you know, you're right. We've really got to tighten up, because we were putting out a lot. It was costing us probably more than $3,200 to raise the hogs. We started to cut the crap and close the gap. We reduced our costs for feed, started tightening up on waste, and we turned around the farm and made it more profitable. They sent me off to college. And my father allowed me to be able to go and paid off my schooling. And today I don't have a lot of debt. And that's why it's important for us to be able to cut the crap for our businesses so that we can take care of our families and take care of our lifestyles and take care of our own. A lot of accountants out there, they don't know that this database exists. When you show them this, it's going to blow their minds. You want to be able to say, here's what's going on in my industry. I need for you to really take my accounting information and help me to bring these two databases together. But at this point, you want to review your industry metrics. You want to be able to compare your industry metrics to your company, and then you want to determine the gap. You want to find out, am I 2 points off, am I 8 days off? When you come into a nice bank branch like Sovereign, and they look at your numbers, and they get an idea that you're performing worse than the industry, what's going to happen?
No loans.
We like you, but we ain't going to give you, you ain't getting a loan here. Banks love companies that don't need loans. Let me say that again, Vito.
Right.
Can I get an amen on that, Vito?
Yeah.
Amen.
Can I get another amen, brother?
Amen.
Now we're getting to the part on cutting the crap and closing the gap. This is the fun part. Identify the financial performance gaps. We got to put our gaps into some specific categories. Now, all of these different metrics can be put in buckets. And the buckets are liquidity. That's where you're looking up there at current ratio, quick ratio, then profits and profit margin, and then sales. Look at that second and third page. I should charge you off of this. I mean, this is giving you, this is, my clients, turn this off. Because if they see me giving this to you for free, they're going to be, they're going to cut me. They're going to be mad, Vito. Vito knows my clients. They're going to be mad, Vito. What are some of the potential ways to improve the company's ability to meet its obligations? Avoid prepaid expenses on accounts payable. Increase prices selectively. Eliminate or reduce some overhead. Sell things that can boost cash flow. Prepare yearly forecasts. Borrow some long-term money. Monitor invoicing procedures. Term out some short-term debt. Use a monthly or bi-monthly payroll schedule if possible. Try to establish sufficient lines of credit. Finance over the long term. Accept multiple forms of payment. Watch the payment terms. These are just liquid gold. On profits and profit margin, create good monthly budgets. Obtain internal reports. Focus on hiring quality employees. I would say that's number one in all of this. Reward your employees who perform best. Your best employees are your most important asset. Invest in activities that can yield positive returns. Examine media sources. Obtain an annual business checkup. They've got one last part there on the back here where it gets into sales. Provide additional products and services to accompany your existing offerings. Establish uniqueness in the services and the business offers that you provide in the market. Have an attractive web presence. Obtain referrals from customers and friends. Distribute surveys to gain feedback. Very good stuff. The last key point is building a continuous improvement infrastructure. So commission someone, a coach, be your thinking partner. Work with your accountant. Get the data you need, like from a database like what we have, as well as from the financials that you have with your accountant, and bring it together. Synchronize it into reports so that you really can drive your business to success.
I found it so fascinating that this was all based on real numbers of businesses.
Yes.
When you synchronize, that's what these numbers up on top mean,
Yeah.
right? That there's 859 companies
in this database.
in that industry.
That's right. And this is just one SIC.
Right.
This is like when you go to the doctor and they're like, well, let me see here. Open your mouth. We're not even talking about x-rays. This is just, let me see your tonsils. I see, We've got reports that can be CT scans. We've got reports that can just, what's called CAT scans. We've got reports that can just give you a look. I'd be happy to provide you with a complimentary coaching session that would include two things. It would include, you just have to tell me, confirm what industry you're in, and I could be prepared when we get together to show you your metric numbers for your industry. And then secondly, I would give you a management staff assessment. And then from there, you'll walk away with, yes, I'm ready to take over the world. Fit you for a nice red cape. Thank you all for coming out.
Standing ovation. You're standing, we're ovation.